SourceFedNerd Anime Club. It's me, Jenny, aka ClassyLibrarian, and this week's anime was Kuroko's Basketball. And my quick review for this was I was pleasantly surprised. I went into this anime with rather low expectations, and I think that's possibly because I have very little interest in sports in general and very little interest in basketball, being both English and incredibly unathletic. My knowledge of basketball extends no further than year 9 PE, which wasn't a pleasant experience, and so I was really nervous about that. I was also nervous about the demographic of this. I was worried about gender inequality, and having only really watched the only other sports anime that I've watched being Ichitobi Free Swim Club, where it was very, very pretty and very oversaturated, but you have to be in a really specific mood to get into this very surreal, quirky world. I was kind of nervous about getting into this one, and I enjoyed it. I don't know whether or not I'll continue watching it. I've watched the first 13 episodes, which is the end of the first arc, and it was a good fun waste of a couple of hours. The sports aspect of this is easy enough to jump into as a non-sport fan. I could just get into the characters and get to where they're going, so I really like that. I love the art style for the actual games, where they've got very subtle, or maybe not so subtle, sort of light effects for when the ball's moved, so you get an idea of the speed and the direction that these balls have gone in, and how you kind of understand the gameplay without having to actually know the rules. I love the sound design, particularly the fact that you always hear the squeaking of gym shoes, so it kind of puts it in a very realistic realm where you have that constant background noise. It of course has very over-the-top music in the right places where you really get into the moment and stuff happens, and then we go on to the next sequence, and it's really, it's fun. I think probably my favourite part of the art design is it's a lot less pretty than Ichitobi Free Swim Club, where it was so high saturated and so very pretty with big eyes and lots of perhaps unnecessary fan service, gender equal fan service, but this one kind of, they don't go that far, and they keep it in a kind of slightly, not muted, but slightly more down-to-earth style. I love the fact that the only digital animation in this is that of the ball in the air and the net, because it would be so hard to do the net physics, the way that it reverbs when the ball hits it, and all of the way that the rope kind of reacts. It would be so hard to do that in hand-drawn animation, and it's so well done because it adds that level of just genuinely recognisable 3D life to this, and it draws your eye at exactly the right moment. So when the ball is about to hit the net, you see it, and it's not enough to distract you, but it's enough to just draw your eye at that specific time, so you're in the moment with the players where you're all looking at the net, and I like that. That's a really, really brilliant bit of art choice, so I really love that. As I said, I like the characters. I have a soft spot in my heart for characters who are the watchers in a group, and they kind of, look from the outside in, and not necessarily the heroes, but are completely and utterly integral to the story and integral to the mission, which in this case is to win as much as possible. I love Kuroko, the coach, who is a very, very cool lady who is just so on the ball, and she owns her position. She's not judged by her gender. She is just incredibly smart and able to judge situations, both techniques and physicality. She's got obviously some medical knowledge because she's able to help look after her trainers, her team's fitness and health, and look after them when they're injured, which happens occasionally. So I just really love her character. In fact, I love all the characters in this, even the ones that don't really have much of, because it's rotational, you get characters that pop in and out. Even the ones that don't get that much screen time, they're enjoyable on screen, and it was a fun waste of a couple of hours. It's not one that I think I would obsessively watch, but it's, good times. I'm sorry if I've rambled on for so long. I haven't really said anything worth saying, but please comment down below and tell me what I missed and tell me what I said wrong, and I will hopefully see you guys all next week. Bye guys.